Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So, still kind of storming out, and I figured I'd pull into the barn today just to kind of protect the vehicles. So, we're doing Uneducated Economist from inside the barn. Wanted to talk a little bit about the pursuit of happiness. This is something that, everybody has their own idea of what is happy. Like, what is it that makes you happy? What is it that you need to do in your life to pursue happiness? And it's kind of interesting to think because I feel lately like I'm just not as happy as I used to be. Like, I have all this stuff going for me. I got, an awesome family. I have this killer YouTube channel that just blows me away, that is successful. I have like a lot going on for me, and I should really just be like the happiest that I've ever been. But I don't really feel like I'm the happiest I've been. I feel like when I was younger, I was a lot happier than I am now, even though I had a whole lot less and struggled a lot more. So I came across this article earlier today, and it says 4 ways to an awesome life, or the lazy way to an awesome life. That's what it was. And then it gives 4 ways in this thing. And as I started reading this, I realized that, holy moly, it's an age thing. It's somewhere between 40 and 65, and I guess really around 45, which is where I'm at right now, is when you hit this like U-shaped curve where you're at the lowest of your happiness scale. And I thought, man, really? Like, everybody seems to be the least happiest when they're in their 40s? In their mid-40s especially? Like, what happened? Why do people get so unhappy when they're in their mid-40s? And as I read the article, it dawned on me, it's just because when you're younger, you have a lot of ambition and hope and dreams and ideas of what it is that's going to be coming into the future. You set a lot of goals, and you have the world wide open to you. And then by the time you're 40, you realize, through probably a lot of hardships and disappointments and reality that you faced, you're simply not going to achieve a lot of those goals. And the idea of pursuing some of that stuff, you just don't have the time anymore. And setting those goals, or trying, not necessarily setting them, but just trying to achieve some of the ones that you may never have gotten to. That leaves you feeling unhappy. Then as time goes on, eventually, those goals fade because you're getting older and you're just not going to set goals that are, outside of like the idea of what you're going to be able to achieve. You don't have to worry about those things anymore, and your life becomes a little easier to deal with as far as like being able to be happy again. So it's around that 45 years old that a lot of people, the study that, go and look at the article that I leave down in the description for you guys. And this is like across like countries all over the world. This is what people feel when they achieve this particular age, when you get between 40 and 65. And so I thought to myself, well, what do? You just live with this unhappiness that you're going through, this almost dissatisfaction of what you have achieved in your life, no matter how successful you were at what you did. You look back and say, I had these other goals in mind, or these other visions of what my life was going to be like, and because I can't get there, or I really just don't have the time, or I'm just, getting too old to even, have that kind of idea anymore. It's not necessarily a depression, but more of just like a dissatisfaction, or just being simply unhappy about that. So what do you do? Right? Well, it's something that have to do with meaning, like doing something meaningful. See, if you try to pursue happiness and you're not able to achieve it, the pursuit of happiness in itself is going to make you unhappy because you simply aren't achieving your goal. And then if it is a goal-oriented achievement that you do, you have to have another goal immediately set in order to achieve those things. So sometimes having goals in itself is the reasons why you're unhappy. Maybe you shouldn't have goals. Or maybe you shouldn't have goals that are outside of expectations that you know you're really not going to achieve, but instead pursue things that are more meaningful in your life. You know, at one point I almost deleted this YouTube channel. I almost ended it. I was going to be like, I'm done. I'm taking too much time to try and make videos. You know, although I get the benefit of having like the ad revenue, and it's really, you know, helped me out at times in my life, especially like trying to get into the house. But the distraction that it takes and the amount of effort that I have to put in, not just in the making videos, but, you know, doing the research and coming up with the ideas. And sometimes I feel like it was taken away from my family, and somehow this was making me unhappy, that I wasn't able to maybe spend more time with my family because of the channel. But then I have so many people who tell me thank you. Like, thank you so much for putting out these videos, and, you know, for having the discussion, for putting out those ideas that are far outside the box from other people, but yet still seem to have some kind of like logic to it. You know, when I have people thanking me like that, it feels like I have some kind of purpose and meaning to what I'm doing here on this channel. And I realized, no, it's the channel. It's meaningful. It's meaningful to a lot of people out there, and it's meaningful to me. And so it's not necessarily the pursuit of happiness that needs to be done. It's just the pursuit of doing something meaningful. And now I realize that I'm not going to pursue happiness anymore. It's not in me. I'm not going to do it. I've tried to pursue happiness, and I see where the damage is done from that. You don't focus in on the things that you should probably be focusing in on, like the people around you. And so now I'm going to think of things that are more meaningful to me and meaningful to the people around me. It's not going to be about happiness. Happiness will come from that. It's being meaningful in its purpose. That's where the important part's going to be for me. So as I become more aware of this idea that I'm not going to pursue happiness anymore, but pursue true meaningfulness in everything that I do, whether it's the people that I interact with, if it's the videos that I'm putting out here, if it's the effort of just playing a board game with my kids, everything that I do from this point on, I'm going to think to myself, is this meaningful? And when I begin to feel unhappy or depressed or sad or just feeling unhappy in general, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think, what is it that you're doing in your life that's meaningful? And if you're not doing anything, go find something that's meaningful in life. I'm not sure how else to, or what else to add into this, other than take a look at that article, read what the author had to say, think about some of the things that I've said on this video, and maybe if you're feeling somewhat like I am, where you don't really have a reason to be unhappy, but yet you just seem to have this kind of feeling of being unhappy, maybe it's because you're not focusing in on something that's meaningful. Or maybe it is something that you have that is meaningful that you didn't realize is meaningful, and that you need to pursue that a little bit better. All right. Uneducated Economist, you guys let me know. Oh, one other thing before I forget, follow me on Instagram. Go down. I have a links to all my social media stuff down in the description. But follow me on Instagram, and I'm going to post stuff there for the trip to the Rebel Capitalist down in Houston. So if you want to follow me on the for the trip down to the Rebel Capitalist, I'll be posting stuff probably mostly on the Instagram account, but I'll probably try and do it on the other social medias as well. But I'll be trying to be as active as I can on Instagram. So please go follow me over there. And I know a lot of people also like to hear these on podcasts. I also have the podcast going for all the videos as well. So if you'd like to find links to the podcast, it's you guys let me know. But you can also go to my website, uneducatedeconomist.com, and you can find links to everything over there. Okay? Uneducated Economist, you guys let me know.